welcome to the White Rabbit Trading Channel. Before we begin, please take a moment to read the disclaimer below. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor and everything here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's dive in. Let's quickly update the charts. Bitcoin has hit another all-time high, giving us some excellent setups from the lows and on the way up. The structure remained bullish, with a few breaks, but each one ultimately led to a higher low and a push to the all-time high. Timing-wise, Bitcoin made its low within the expected window, and for the range highs, we were looking at January 19th. This played out very well, as Bitcoin was hitting key statistical levels on those dates. On the weekly time frame, we're now seeing a rejection. However, the week just opened, so there's still room for further moves. Bitcoin could dip slightly lower to take out Monday's low and form a new weekly low, potentially tapping the previous week's equilibrium. Slightly lower, there's also a new weekly level. For the bullish scenario, I don't want to see Bitcoin lose and close the candle at these lower levels. Instead, I'd prefer to see a wick form and price recover ideally today, which would open the door for a strong move to push the weekly candle higher. On the bearish side, if Bitcoin loses these levels, it would open the door for more downside, and we might have already seen the weekly high form on Monday. This highlights why it's smart to trade the highs and lows of ranges and adapt your plans, even in an uptrend. In situations like this, traders need to hedge themselves. On the daily time frame, we're watching several key levels. The first is where we are now, a simple support-resistance flip area. I'm looking for signs of strength here, either for a move up or for a range to form. Another possible scenario is a sweep of this level and Monday's low, or a deviation followed by a recovery above this level to continue higher. However, losing this level would mean Bitcoin re-enters its old range. If it starts to act as resistance, we could see a move down to the mid-range. At that point, I'd look for setups either on the range backtest or at the mid-range itself. As always, it's possible for price to range in the lower part of the range, continuing the same pattern where we've found setups at both the lows and the highs. For now, these are the important levels to watch, along with how price reacts to them. Keep in mind that if price pushes deeper, previous levels could act as resistance. To protect myself, I'll manage risk around these levels, just as I did with the short from the highs. That trade provided a good take-profit level, and the rest remains as a potential runner. Now let's review today's data and the local levels. Historically, Tuesdays show an average gain of 1.8% and an average loss of 2.57%. Interestingly, the average loss aligns with Monday's low, which could provide a potential SFP or deviation setup. Price might dip lower, sweeping the level, or grind down further to hit other levels before reclaiming it. If this happens and the level holds, it would be a local sign of strength. For now, the structure remains intact, but a deeper push into the range could signal a potential change, requiring us to adjust our plans. To the upside, there's an old breaker or support resistance level where I'd look for a setup with the idea of trading the range. Targets to the downside include a sweep of Monday's low or even lower levels if Bitcoin remains weak. On the other hand, if this breaker holds and Bitcoin reclaims these levels, the trade from this level could become a runner to the next resistance or even to a new all-time high. For now, I'm closely watching how these levels react and planning the next steps accordingly. That's it for today's update. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll keep you updated as the market develops. Until then, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.